What up, y'all? This is our new podcast, and it's called Cannon Fodder. Today we'll be discussing a multitude of things and stuff.
We're just hanging out.
We're just hanging out, talking about a bunch of random things that you guys have asked us. So let's get to it.
I think we're gonna do the questions. Do you want to do them first?
Well, what do we want to do? What do you want to do first?
Let's talk about what happened to me this week, because I got to talk about it.
Okay, we'll start with that, with that very sentence.
So,
Jordan has a story, a really good, juicy story for us all. So let's go ahead and start with that.
So I'm sitting at work on, I think it was Wednesday. We're filming right now on Saturday, and the phone rings, and I pick it up. Hello, this is. Hi, just so you know, somebody is sending all of your ex's messages on Snapchat pretending to be you. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, excuse me, is this the wrong number? And then, this is my ex. And I confirm with another ex, and it's true that someone's making multiple Snapchat accounts with my name with a bunch of numbers at the end, like just random bullshit. And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't have any enemies. I've been, well, what I mean is by that, is that I've been keeping it pretty low key this year. So I can't for the life of me figure out who it would be. And then this was like 10 in the morning. And then around 8 o'clock that night, I get another message from the other ex saying, I just got a real good dick pic. So now this person is sending dick pics in my name. I had to clarify: was it my dick? I don't.
Was it mine?
And how do you ask that question? Right? I'm straight up. I'm just like, I haven't seen this girl in years. I'm like, was it mine? And she's like, to be honest, I didn't look too hard. So I don't know.
I mean, I'm trying to think of how it would be yours, unless somebody just kept.
I mean, I don't send dick pics to a lot of people, so I don't.
Well, exactly.
It's a very small list of people who it could be. Anyway, I added the Snapchats. They wouldn't fucking answer, or they wouldn't accept my request, and since then, I have heard nothing from the exes. So, as far as I know, it's resolved. But
resolved.
What a weird thing to have happened. And I'm still kind of just puzzled by it.
Well, it's weird. One, it's weird if somebody's just sending your dick pics places, and then two, it's even weirder if...
Again. Full disclosure, I don't think it was my dick. Just to put that out there.
That's what I'm about to say. Two, it's even weirder if somebody is just pretending to be you and they got like a random dick off the internet just to be like, hey, this me, Jordan.
Well, because also you would assume that if they sent my ex a picture of a different dick and said,
know,
hey, do you miss me? Which is what they said when they sent the dick pic. They would know. You would.
Well, yeah, that's.
So I really don't know what the goal was. What were you trying to accomplish? And if you're out there, if you're fucking out there and watching
one of the three people watching, if you're one of them,
if you're watching this, I have a very specific set of skills. Is that what the Taken guy says? And I'll find you. Don't do it again.
Is that what he says? I haven't watched Taken in a very long time.
I just know from the memes. But I think that's what he says.
You're very shiny today.
Well, it's either these lights or I just be like yellow. So it's
I'm also pretty shiny too. It's like hot today. But I think today's the last
hot.
day.
And I was just in the backyard. Speaking of yellow, I saw this. I don't know if it was a TikTok or a Vine or something. It was obviously not originated on those websites. Have you seen the video of? It's like a game show, and it's like the kids are like 10, and
ew, and the guy like kisses them. He kisses.
No,
them
not that.
Oh wait,
but that,
we're not talking about that.
I have seen that. No, I'm talking about. When you said I look very yellow, and it reminded me of this. It's like that's not a spelling bee, but like that kind of language game, and the host is asking the kid. If you say someone is very yellow, what does that mean? And the kid's like, Asian? Wrong. Apparently, yellow is a term for shy.
Shy?
And the kid says Asian, and then the camera cuts to another kid who is
And is
Asian.
he Asian?
And the kid's just sitting there like, Jim.
I'm me. But let's talk about that other thing that I was saying, so I don't look weird when I talk about that man kissing kids on the
Yeah.
That talk show where I think it was like in the 70s, where the guy, there's a bunch of clips of it on YouTube, so I'm sure you could find it. But he goes up to these kids on this game show, and it's kind of like, it looks like a Family Feud type show where they, or like Smarter Than a Fifth Grader type thing, where they like ask kids questions and they answer them, obviously. And the talk show host would go up to these kids, and he'd get like really close to them, like really like on their fucking shoulder like a parrot, and he'd be like, hey, like, you have really nice blue eyes, like, can you give me a little kiss for me, so you can, hey, if you give me a little kiss, I'll let you win the game show, give me a little kiss. And the kids are always like, the girls mainly, the kids are always like looking at him like, I want to do this. And then a lot of them would like, give him a little like, a little kiss on the cheek or whatever. But he'd do that thing where like they'd go to give him a kiss on the cheek and he'd like turn his head.
Like the Katy Perry thing?
Yes. Where he'd just turn his head to like land a kiss on the mouth with a fucking like 10-year-old. And then near the end of the video, or one of the videos, there's a woman off screen. I assume maybe it's like one of the parents, or maybe, I don't know, it's somebody. And all you hear them say is, dirty old man. She's my hero. She fucking did that. It's so gross. Ew.
Isn't it crazy now that man is running for president of the United States?
That man has been president of the United States.
Oh, I was talking about Biden.
They both are.
Yes.
Yeah, but Biden has a couple weird moments like that where he's like
rubbing their shoulders.
He's like a little gargoyle on them, like trying to sniff their hair and shit. Why is everybody a pedophile?
Literally.
It's almost like the easiest thing to not.
It's quite easy, I would say. Having being someone who has been quite successful in not being a pedophile for about 25 years now, I'd say it's pretty easy.
It's pretty simple, concept-wise.
Don't
practice-wise.
Kids.
Don't kiss little girls. Easy, pretty simple, I would say.
I can't think. You cannot put any word in front of little girls now without me thinking of the Epstein deepfake of him singing "I like fucking little girls" or whatever.
The fucking Epstein deepfakes are cursed. I hate those fucking fakes.
It seems like they're getting easier to make.
They're getting easier, and they're getting...
And I want to learn how to do it.
Much better, too. Like, to a point where it's like, you have to really squint to realize... If I didn't know Epstein was dead, I'd be like, oh, he's really... Okay.
That's him. He's just singing about fucking little girls.
He's really singing it, huh?
Holy Jesus. What were you up to today? You're at B's mom's house?
Yeah, we were just picking up a package. So we all share an Amazon Prime account, B and I and her parents.
Yep.
And we always order stuff via the Amazon Prime account. And we have the primary delivery option set to her house because I cannot trust my parents to answer the door for anything at my house. And B's parents are home a lot, so we just get things delivered to her house and it's easier. But that means that we're constantly going to B's house as if it's like a post office. Like, we just show up and we're here to pick up a package and leave. And so we had to go, she ordered something and we had to go pick it up today. And while we were there, we were going to bring the dog because Tetra really likes Tiggy, who's B's parents' dog, and they really get along really nicely. But Tiggy was just there, and Tiggy is, she's, what kind of dog is she? She's the same kind of dog that Toto is in Wizard of Oz, a Karen Terrier.
Yeah, okay, I know from B saying that.
And Tiggy, like, if you know what Toto looks like, he's like a little teddy bear dog, like, he just, is chilling. But... What was that?
I was just checking to make sure my camera was still recording.
I have no idea if mine is still recording, because I wish there was like a red light or something, but we'll have to see afterwards.
I would check like halfway through. But I mean, if mine's good, yours is good. Yours 2 years older than me, or newer.
So we go to see B's parents to get the package, and Tiggy's there, and she's a Karen Terrier, so she's supposed to look like Toto, like the Wizard of Oz dog, but instead she is just a fucking brick. Like she is literally just a cube. It is so funny because like she doesn't look fat. She just looks rotund. She's just is just a box. And every
very
time I
stocky.
see her, every time I see her, she looks just more solid. Like it's like
She's
she's just
evolving.
holy fuck. Like she's really just duplicating every time we go see her. And every time we go see her, I think about Toto, and I'm like, this looks nothing like Toto, because they also keep her hair long. They don't trim it.
Yeah.
So she just looks like a fucking cube mop. It's so funny. And whenever we bring Tetra over, they're basically the same size, but Tetra's more, like, she's longer and a little leaner.
Really? Are they really the same size?
Tetra's, like, a little taller than her, but, like, they're...
Really?
They're generally, like, the same size.
I remember Tiggy to be a medium dog, like... And
She's a meaty fucking dog.
Well, I guess you would know better than me.
They're
the image of Tiggy in my head is big.
No, she's not bigger than Tetra.
Big, but like
she's big, like wider than Tetra, but she's not taller.
Yeah, Tetra's a little hot dog. I guess you're right.
Tetra's just a lean little girl, and then next to Tiggy, she looks like a brick next to like a paper straw.
You want to get into some questions?
We do have some questions that we can answer, so let's start with... Well, you can go ahead and start with one that you've gotten.
Okay, let's start with this one. The very first question that I received, it comes from Briar. How does Tino's fiance feel about him loving your soft hands so much?
I don't think I've ever discussed your soft hands with me before. But I don't know if anybody's ever gotten the pleasure of touching Jordan's hands. They are so weirdly soft. Like, I don't know if it's just me or, like, maybe my hands are also soft, but his hands, like, every time I, like, romantically graze up on his hands by accident, or if I hand him something and he touches my hand, like, it is so soft. It's insane. And I always look at him and I'm like, I never see you moisturizing. Like, why are your hands so soft?
I don't.
It's like touching like a wet washcloth. Is that soft?
That's
I don't know.
not
Like,
soft.
You know what I mean? Like one of those like microfiber washcloths.
That's soft.
Those like it kind of feels like that. But I don't think I've ever discussed with B the softness of your hands.
You shouldn't keep it. It's between us.
She'll get a little heated.
Okay, what do you got?
The softness. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one because I know that I feel like we both won't even be able to really give a succinct answer to this. But let's just discuss pie, specifically pie during Thanksgiving, since we are a couple days away from Thanksgiving. So let's get that festive question in.
I feel that you are more qualified to answer this. So
I'm not.
I'll let you go
because
first.
I don't like pie.
You
I
don't
hate
like pie at all?
No,
Any
pie
pie?
is so. I like pumpkin pie, but like I feel like pumpkin pie doesn't count because
I truly wouldn't know.
You've never had pie at all?
So here's the thing. I have had no. The short answer is no. I have had the little apple pies from McDonald's, and they're pretty good.
That's a pie. That's a pie.
Really? So I've had. I mean,
well, yeah.
For those who don't know, I am a ridiculously picky eater, like autism levels of pickiness, and that's not in an insult way. That's in like I have actually asked myself, do I have autism? Because,
oh god, that like threw me into a coughing fit.
So I have just never had tried pie. But based on those little McDonald's apple pies, I've been thinking pie's probably good. Like I'll probably have some pie with like a vanilla ice cream
literally
scoop.
like a mini pie. Like the McDonald's ones are literally like you're talking about the oblong ones,
yeah.
right? That's a pie, I guess. I mean,
yeah, I guess it's the same structure.
Well, it's the same.
I guess it's kind of like a pizza slice version of a pie, whereas a pie would be like a fucking lasagna. Like there's more in the middle, I would assume. I think. I mean, pie is kind of thick. Yeah. I would give apple pie a shot, or like a blueberry pie. I wouldn't want to try pumpkin pie. I don't like pumpkin seeds.
No, but it's not. What? No, there's no pumpkin seeds in pumpkin pie. What do you think? There's no pumpkin seeds. I mean, none of the pies that I've had.
The taste wise.
You don't like the pumpkin taste?
I don't think.
Pumpkin pie, I only like pumpkin pie because I'm also kind of a picky eater. And I have this thing with, I know like everybody's gonna like, ooh. But I have this thing with like textures. Like I really don't, a lot of the time if I dislike foods, it's because of their textures rather than their taste. Mm-hmm. And so with pumpkin pie, like it's all one thing, right? Like it's like you have the crust and the like the pastry part of it. And then you have the pumpkin part of it, which is like, it's all like, imagine it being like all blended, I guess.
Like
it's
a mash?
all one. Yeah. It's like a filling,
mashed potato, but it's pumpkin.
I guess so. Yeah, it's a little more different.
And
than
what?
That. But yeah, it's.
What part of the pumpkin do they make that out of? Is that the pumpkin itself?
Do they? I don't even know what pumpkin. Like what part of. Because. Okay.
Because you've carved a pumpkin, obviously. No part of a pumpkin is appetizing in there.
No, because you can't just like cut a piece of a pumpkin and eat it like an apple.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I actually have never thought about that before. There's because there's like the outer shell.
FBI, open up!
There's the outer shell, right, of the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
And then there's the inner part, which is like it's not that much, right? A lot of
most
of the pumpkin is like
goopy stuff.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know.
But like, there's the innards of the pumpkin, or like the inner, core, which is like it's not that big. It's like that much. So maybe it is the like goopy shit that they make that pie stuff out of.
I guess we'll never know.
But a lot of the time with pumpkin pie, you have it with like whipped cream, so that kind of lessens the blow.
Well, that's how I think of pie is with a scoop of ice cream. That's how I always.
Or that, or yeah, a scoop of ice cream. But even with, but like if we're talking about pie in general and not pumpkin pie, I really don't like just regular pie, because like I feel like it feels raw to me. Does that make sense? Like it feels like
the shit in the middle.
Yeah,
I can see where that would come from.
You have the pastry, which is like really, it's like baked nicely and it's like crispy, and then you have like whatever fruit is inside, apple, blueberry, whatever. That's all like mushy and gushy and all fucking like wet ass pie.
Yeah,
like it's
wet ass pie.
It's not good
wop,
to me.
Wop.
But yeah, other pies I do not like. Pumpkin pie is serviceable because it's like I feel like I'm eating baby food.
Okay, can we talk about baby food for a minute?
Weren't you were buying baby food for a while? You got like into baby food.
Here, hold on. Don't give me a bit of credit.
No,
here.
like you literally
2 years ago I got my wisdom teeth out so I could get my braces on for these chompers. And for a week or two you have to eat like Jello, applesauce, baby food. And let me fucking tell you, baby food's fucking lit. Baby food fucking slaps. It's good. It's basically just applesauce, but there's more flavors of it, and it's not as.
But I feel like you weren't eating like the healthy baby food though. You were eating like peaches and cream baby food. Like
I was
you weren't
eating
getting
like
that good shit.
Well, no, I would get like the like carrot, apple, blueberry, and whatever.
Ew.
And it sounds bad, but it was good. And I had that for a week or two, and then I could eat normal again. But, once in a while, I'll just be...
I had that a week or two, and then I had it for another 6 months after my teeth had been...
No, I wasn't buying it as regularly as you think I was. But I was, and to this day, still, sometimes I'm walking down the grocery aisle, and I walk past the baby food, and I'm like, hey, I'll go grab one or two, and then,
When is the last time you were in a grocery store? I feel like the last time I was in a grocery store was last week.
Week. I go once or twice a week.
I don't know how the grocery stores are in Stony Creek, but the one that's close to me, there's a line, obviously, because of COVID.
Not like that at all here.
No, there's no line?
No, I mean no more than no more than usual.
I'm saying a line outside.
Oh, really?
To get in.
So we had a line. I do most of my groceries at Walmart, and there was a lineup at Walmart consistently until phase 3, which was the middle of July.
Like outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but during that time, I found that Fortino's never had a line, and I can only assume that's because Fortino's is groceries only, And B, Fortino's is much more expensive of a grocery store, so less people go there. So I started just going to Fortino's to skip a line. And now there's no line because we're in phase 3, which means there's no more capacity limits for grocery stores.
Right.
But if there was still a line here, I would not be going on my normal schedule.
It's just the grocery store literally right up the street from me. It always has like a line. It goes pretty quickly, so I don't really care, but like people in the line, of course there are signs all over the place being like you have to wear a mask to get into the grocery store.
Yeah.
But people will be in line and they won't have a mask, and then they'll get to the front of the line and the security guard guy will be like, you need a mask to get in. And then they're sitting there like just an out-of-body experience, as if they've been told, like, you need to submit your PhD thesis to get into this no frills, ma'am. Like, and they're just sitting there so gagged, and everybody behind them is just like Seinfeld theme. Like, I don't know what we're supposed to be doing here, waiting for you to get it together, Mary. Like, just put your mask on so we can all get our fucking groceries. Like,
I really
it's
don't
so annoying.
understand. Like, that's something that I've been wondering myself. Is that it's October, the mask law has been in effect.
Since the summer.
Since July.
Since like August or July.
For Hamilton and Toronto, I think they adopted that law around the same time, which was mid-July. So it's been 3 months now. How has it been 3 fucking months and you're still walking into my store with no mask and I tell you, mask on, and you say, oh yeah, I keep forgetting. It's been 3 fucking months. That's a quarter of a year.
Yeah, it's...
And these are people who I see on a regular basis. These are not like, oh, I leave my house once a month customers. These are regulars.
I really can't tell if it's that people are that forgetful or if they just are like choosing to forget.
It's definitely both, but I do have a substantial amount of customers who are just forgetting.
Or anti-mask.
It's like stupid.
Because like my mom, like she wears a mask like everywhere. I mean, outside, obviously. She wears a mask everywhere, and she's like the kind of I feel like she would be, right? Like, fucking standing ovation for that.
Really?
I feel like she'd be the kind of person to forget that kind of thing, but she still manages to remember. So it's like, when I see these people out here with their kids, and there's like not a mask in sight, and they're going to no frills, it's like, just order your groceries if you're gonna.
Really? And Toronto has services like that, don't they?
Yeah, there's like you can, because even with this no frills, you can like order your groceries and then go and pick them up, and somebody will just give you them at the door. Like, you don't have to go inside.
Yeah.
So it's like, just do that.
There are so many options, people. Like, come on, let's go.
I keep talking into this mic, but this isn't. It's not functioning for this. Like, it's not working for this. But I didn't want to move it because it's on like one of those.
Nice. It looks really nice.
It makes me look like professional, but it's this little tiny ass like.
You have like a $200 mic setup in front of you, and you're using a $25 lapel mic.
Amazon, yeah. It's just like, it's on one of those. I forget what they're called. Like the little. There's a name for it.
Like a clamp.
This thing. No, this thing. Like it attaches to your desk. I don't know what it's called.
With like a clamp, right? Like this is the desk, and
yeah. But it's like the whole stand. Like, what is this called? I don't know what it's called.
I don't know either.
Anyway, it's on. Yeah, sure. It's on one of those, and it moves, obviously, but like I don't feel like moving it all the way over there, because I feel like this thing was like, again, it was like $30 on Amazon, and if I move it, it's just gonna fucking
I think I have
evaporate.
The same one in my wish list.
So I looked at a bunch, and they're all around the same. This is my thing with Amazon. Sometimes I feel like everything is the same. Of this, like, I was looking at a bunch of these things, and it's like they're all the same. They all look the same.
They all have the same picture.
They have the same like stock pictures. They're all in the same price range.
Yeah.
But they're just by different sellers, and I'm like, am I being?
Have you seen the ones
here?
where it'll be the exact same product with a different logo on it?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, they all have different sellers, and like sometimes the pictures will be slightly different, but they're all the exact same product. And I always wonder, like, is this? What is this? What am I doing here? What are they doing here?
It's. Yeah,
and they all have. They also all have the same reviews too, or not same reviews, but like they're all rated the same. Like all of the ones that I looked at were like between 4 and 5, and a lot of the reviews sounded similar too.
There's a website that you can. I don't know if you've ever used it. You can plug in any Amazon product page.
And it like separates the
goes through the reviews, and it says these reviews are probably bots. and then it gives you
I have
an
seen that
updated
website.
score. Yeah, that's something I run into a lot, and I honestly, usually what I do is I just end up buying the product with the most reviews. Because it'll be like
I go number
13,000 reviews,
wise.
4,000 reviews, and then 300 reviews. It's like,
But then I'm always a little wary of the ones that do have that many reviews, because it's like, are these real people?
Surely some of them are fake, but
It has to be. I don't know.
I don't know.
Amazon has turned into a space I do not trust. Because
yeah.
I've been wronged on Amazon.
You've had some bad experiences lately.
Yeah, it's insane. And also just with buying stuff, even with like SD cards. Like I know you've bought like an SD card for your Switch or like a
I
micro
got
SD
lucky
for
with the
anything
one
else.
that I got, but there seem to be a lot of reviews of fake
There's
SD cards.
so many where they get the SD card and like, this was supposed to be 400 gigs, but I put it into an SD card reader and it's only 25 megabytes. It's insane.
We were in questions.
Where did we? Oh, we
Pie.
started on pie.
I got one from Katya, and this is we're getting introspective, boys.
Oh no.
What are your best life lessons?
Best life lessons. Okay,
So
you can start.
I'll go first because I got this question and I thought about it because I'm a cheater.
Okay, well.
I am not someone who's made the best choices in life.
We can dedicate a whole fucking podcast to your choices in life.
So
I'm sure
I
we'll
don't
get
have.
into them.
I do have good life lessons. I mean, I guess from my experience, but I think I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to say this.
Well, no. Give us like a good, not in depth, but let's get a good, chunky answer from this because I'm curious to hear what you have to say on it.
I'll think of a good one while you're saying yours, but let me give my rehearsed one because I think this is good. And and cue the Michael Scott gif of him be like, David, this is something that I live by, and I always have, and I always will, and he just doesn't know what he's saying. But this is actually, this is something that has been in my brain for a while. I would say there are two kinds of people in the world. There is the type of person who, when their friend has a business, they will expect a discount. And if they have their own business, they will expect their friends to pay them more for their services. And then there's the type of person who, when their friends have a business, they will pay them extra, or if they have a business themselves, they will give their services for free. So for example, like B tells me $20 for an art commission, I give her 50, or Bao tells me nothing at all and I throw money at her. Mm-hmm. And then I hear about people who like come up to like their friends and they're like, hey, like you're gonna give me a friend discount, right? And it's just like, I can't imagine ever doing that to one of my friends. Like, I want support your friends, people. Like come on, don't be a dipshit.
I think I get what you're saying, and I agree.
It was not a well. I'm not very articulate today, as Michael Scott would say.
I mean, it's okay. People can go back and replay that a couple times to get what you're saying, because I know I'm gonna probably have to after this. I get what you're saying, and I agree. It's like there are people who expect their friends to just do things for them for free just because you have like a skill or like a thing that you can do. Like for me, for instance, I know this happens a lot with family. I think it happens more with family than with friends, in my experience at least. I am somewhat of a photographer, quote unquote, and I have done I have been asked by family before, hey, can you come photograph this baby shower, or can you come do this little like engagement shoot? And they won't be like expecting or ready to pay me for that. And it's like a lot of the time I'm fully willing to give family and friends like a discount on my services. Like I'm not gonna, but it's worse to just expect it to be done for free than to maybe hope that like they'll give you a little friend discount. Because like if you're just expecting it for free, it kind of is like, well, it makes it awkward for me to be like, here's my PayPal.
Yeah, and I think maybe a better way for me to have said it would be, there are people who see that as an opportunity to support their friends or family, and then there's people who see that as an opportunity to get something for free or cheap. Mm-hmm. So don't be that person, or you're a fucking asshole.
Support your friends, support your family. even if it means you are paying for something that you feel like you should be getting for free, because like you don't have a right to your family or friends' like skills. Okay, these are things that they're developing. Pay them for it.
Do it. Yep.
That's a good thing. That's a good point. Do you have anything else to add to that?
That would be that's my time.
I'm reclaiming my time. I think with I don't know if this is a life lesson or if this is just something that I think about a lot and I go by a lot with a lot of people that I meet. And I've said this before to other people, but there are three. This is going to be like yours.
Oh,
there
you
are
got
three
you got
kinds
one more
of
than
people where you will encounter them. You'll encounter them, and this is where I find that I tend to dislike people if they act this way. There are people who think they are funnier than they actually are. There are people who think that they are smarter than they actually are. And then there are people who think that they are more
often the same person
than they actually are. And they're often all three combined into one really sexy cocktail. But that sounds like I'm like, oh, people are pieces of shit. No, it's just people have a tendency to think that they are the most important person or funniest person, or basically what I'm saying is don't have an ego. Just like try to be humble and try to like think about your place in the world and how you contribute to things and the way that you offer yourself to people, and don't be the person in the room that's like constantly trying to command an entire army rather than just, be a part of something. Be a part of something without making it about yourself. I don't know. And also another thing that I have, which is probably not related to that, is just don't care.
Are you saying don't care as like advice?
Like don't care. Yes, just don't care about like try to care less. That's my motto. Is care less about things, because maybe it's probably cynical of me to say, but I've gone through life with people, things, places, everything, and I find that the more I try to ground myself and the less I try to care too much about things, the happier I become if and when they turn out really well or they don't turn out at all. So that's my thing. I think that it's good to taper your expectations of people and of just things in general.
You can't be disappointed if you got no expectations.
Not everybody, yeah. Well, that, and it's like not everybody is going to be able to please you.
Yeah, that
and
ain't
they
life,
shouldn't,
baby.
because it's like that's unrealistic. But see, that's where we see people.
Me.
Like for instance, the mask people, the anti-mask people.
Oh, no, never mind.
No, not redacted. The people who show up to let's say a grocery store and expect everybody to cater to their weird sense of like, I'm against big government and I'm not wearing my mask because of it. It's like, no, like nobody cares. Just we're all trying to live our lives. Just wear a mask and shut up. Like it's not that deep.
Yep.
Please, if you're gonna be that way, just stay home. Order your groceries online. That's my life lesson. Order your groceries online.
It's a good life lesson.
Holy shit, I feel like I just gave like 6 different tangents and finished none of them.
That's okay. I think I got it.
It's alright.
We can call it concise. You have another question?
I do. This one is one that I'm probably going to have to think about, so I'll let you answer this one.
Okay.
What is the worst video game you've ever played? And this could be like a small, stupid, like Steam video game, or it could be like a fully, fleshed out AAA game. Just anything. Worst video game you've played.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Because especially now, I'm very selective with the games that I buy, because games are $90, and when the
They're
PS5
expensive.
comes out, they will be $100.
No way. Are they actually raising the price?
Yeah, for first party Sony titles.
Oh,
Yeah,
that hurts.
I think third party might still be $79.99, but like when these third party developers see Sony charging $100, they're gonna
start.
And I mean it's $100 after tax, so it's gonna be $89.99 instead
But they're
of
already.
$79.99.
Yeah. Hmm.
So after tax, I think that's $101.
Yeah, I was going through one of my drawers the other day, and I found, I think it was Pokemon White 2 or Pokemon Black 2.
Did it still have a sticker on it?
And I opened it. I opened the case, and I keep all my receipts in my game cases. And I took out the receipt, and it was $34.99 full price.
Oof. Could you, like, that was a different time, man.
Let's talk about inflation. No, I don't know. I don't know enough about inflation to talk about
Welcome to
it.
our podcast about the economy. This is all we're talking about for the next 6 weeks.
Two people who know nothing about economics talking about inflation. Let's get it.
I sold my stocks this week, so I'm out. I'm out of the game. I made $15.
Ooh. Okay.
For doing literally nothing, so.
What is that? That's a Five Guys order.
Yeah.
Period.
I just made some fries. Anyway, back to the video game thing. I don't know what I would say is the worst video game I've ever played, but let's talk about disappointing.
Okay.
The level of hype that I'm going to catch so much shit for this if anyone watching is a gamer. After seeing all the hype for Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, so disappointing. And I played through for a while. I played a couple hours worth. I got through the first world, and it was not bad. But people kept talking about how tight the controls were.
Was there hype?
Yeah. The Switch subreddit was nothing but praise.
I played
literally
it.
One of the best platformers of all time is what everyone said. And it was good. It was fine. But I went into it primarily expecting to experience these tight controls as everyone was calling them, and it felt slippery to me. I don't know. I didn't finish it. I put it down. I regretted buying it.
I played it Tropical Freeze. I played it on the Wii U.
Yeah, that's the one that they ported to the Switch, which I'm assuming it's the exact same control.
It was good. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. I was just heavily disappointed.
The best platformer. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a big statement.
Christ.
And I think people just make those statements.
They just kind of... People do be saying things, huh? Like that.
They do be saying things. How about you?
I'm trying to think. The worst game that I've played. This is... I don't know. Because, like... Again, I'm the same way. Like, I've been pretty selective about the games that I do play now, and trying to be really, conscious of buying things. I mean, not really, but being conscious of, like, only trying to buy games that I feel like I already know are good or will be good, in my tastes at least. Mm-hmm. But I guess I have been on a quest this year to find, like, a good MMO. And
never gonna happen.
That has led me down quite a few very garbage trash roads of, like, MMOs that are just terrible. Like, what happened to MMOs? I don't understand.
I have an opinion on this. Or maybe not an opinion, but I have a theory.
Like, I played an MMO. What was it called? It was like, of course, it was like one of those Korean, like, anime MMOs.
Recently?
And I'm trying, maybe a couple months ago, before, like, during the summer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the name was, but it was just like you got into game and you had your little anime girl, and, like, I'm not averse to anime, like, type, like, cel shaded graphics. Like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But the game was so, like, you click, and you do your 3 combo, and then you do your stupid quests, and then you're just, like, grinding for nothing. And it's like, MMOs these days are just not... Maybe I've outgrown them as a person.
So that's what I think. That's part of what I think it is. Because when we were growing up, we had MapleStory, World of Warcraft. MMOs growing up in like the mid-2000s were incredible. But here's the thing. I think that the primary market for these games is people who in school,
have lives,
unemployed, or like just a kid who can come home from school at 3:00 and play all night
and grind for like 6
because
hours.
That's the nature of the game, is that you have to play so much because it's a huge world that never ends and you just got to keep grinding. So that's the demographic for these games primarily, I would say, other than people who like us are just chasing the nostalgia of it.
I agree.
that demographic these days are leaning so heavily towards mobile games and games with basically like shorter attention span type shit, where they're not going to put. We must have put thousands of hours in the MapleStory, and I can't imagine a 12-year-old putting thousands of hours into a game right now.
I don't know. I really wish I knew how many hours I put into MapleStory.
So you take.
I wish there was a way to check.
You take that fact. I'm going to call it a fact. I don't know if it is. You take that fact, and then you consider that an MMO by far takes more manpower, a bigger team, more resources and money to create and maintain, and nobody's going to do it. Like, people are doing it, but no studio with the, like, capability of making a good MMO is going to do that because it's not worth it for them.
Well, with your point on mobile games, it is like mobile games. If you knew, or if we knew, mobile games are making so much money right now. Like, just it is insane. Like, you would never achieve that level of like profit with an MMO because again, like you said, it costs more to run. It takes more, as in like there are more resources put into these things than a mobile. And I'm not saying that mobile games are bad and that they're like terrible, but like. It's just easier to make a mobile game than it is to make a fully fledged MMO.
Yeah.
And like when you have developers making mobile games making like $1 bajillion, and then you have developers putting like their lives into MMOs and then making nothing, it's like it's pretty easy. It's a pretty easy decision to make from a developer's point of view.
Yeah, definitely. And it fucking sucks, but well, let's just play MapleStory for the rest of our lives. I'm cool with that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm waiting for MapleStory to... I don't know if anybody's ever played MapleStory. I'm waiting for them to release a MapleStory Classic.
Please,
in the same way.
MapleStory Classic so that we can play it together and then everybody bails at level 45 because they hate LPQ. Please do it.
Period. I want them to do that. Like, WoW did it, and I don't really like... I didn't play WoW a lot, but I think that people liked WoW Classic.
I'm not into WoW, but I will say, like, that's a quality MMO.
Yeah, obviously it's a quality. Otherwise, it would not be around by now. Holy crap! Yeah. But like, it just release a MapleStory Classic so that I can.
These companies just don't want money. That's really what it comes down to.
We talk about this a lot with Nintendo. Nintendo just doesn't. They just don't want money. They just don't want money. Yep. They could literally make a killing off of. I know everybody doesn't love ports, but they could quite literally port all the top like 20 GameCube games, and they would just swim in it.
The thing is, they're porting. Some of these ports are very questionable. Like, I just don't know. I don't
like. We don't need Golf Story. I know that's not a port, but like, who asked for that?
Apparently, it's very good, but I haven't played it.
I don't know. I guess maybe it is good. I don't know. But I'm speaking from a perspective of like somebody who played a lot of these GameCube games and would like to play them again. And I'm not asking for like a remaster or a remake, just like a literal 1-to-1 port. Yeah, I would take it, and I would buy it
literally too. Virtual console. Do it. Just do it.
And I know a lot of people would also buy it.
The most puzzling thing is them removing Virtual Console. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Oh no. Because like they could just do that with the Virtual Console instead of having to port everything, just like a streaming service even.
Yeah.
Because we all know that gaming companies and every company in the world is like really jumping on that monthly streaming model. So like Nintendo could do that with the Virtual Console.
Yeah, and they could actually do it. Unlike fucking like what are these companies doing like Steam, or
Stadia?
Google? It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Stop trying.
I still don't know what Stadia is.
It is.
It's like the streaming.
I think
thing, right?
I think you just buy a controller, and then you play it on your phone.
Isn't it a thing though? I thought it was a thing.
I thought
it was like an actual.
No, I think it's like, you know how like you can do it on your phone, or you know how like
I think it's just like
if
Netflix,
you have a Chromecast,
right?
You can throw what's on your phone up on the TV. I think it works like that, because I can't remember. I remember seeing the Stadia controller. I don't remember seeing any physical console, because it's all streaming, so they don't need a console.
Yeah, I've never tried one of those things, but I wonder about.
It had a terrible launch.
The quality.
It was not. From what I remember, they made big promises, and they did not deliver on them. And then the only phones that were really running things passably were Google's Pixel phones. So it writes itself.
Lovely.
And it's like, if you have a Pixel, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Get a Galaxy and shut up.
I've seen a lot of ads for Google Pixels lately.
They seem to be good, but it's just like...
They're cheaper too.
It's just like, I with phones, I feel like it's get an iPhone and be an iPhone person. Or don't. Or get a Galaxy and have a phone.
The one thing, I had an iPhone before I have a Galaxy.
Me too,
now.
yeah, I had an iPhone before.
The one thing that I truly miss about iPhones is the camera. I feel like the camera on Samsung phones, like, there's something about it, like, the quality is good, but
it looks weird.
Like the when you're taking a picture, for instance, on your Galaxy, the FPS of, like, you actually, like, the video, like, it showing you what it's taking a picture of is really low, and that a lot of the time results in, like, blurry photos. So, like, getting photos to focus is much harder than it should be, because, like, with iPhones, like, you would take out your phone, you'd open the camera, and it would show you, obviously, what the camera's capturing, and then you take a picture, and that's it. Like, with Samsung Galaxy, it feels like there's, like, a disconnect between what it's capturing and what it actually ends up taking a picture of, if that makes sense.
It does. And I've also, I don't know if you've noticed this, you could tell me. When I use the stock Galaxy S8 is what I have. When I use the stock Samsung Galaxy camera app, I'll take a picture. It's, it's like you said, the quality's there, but it looks kind of not good. Mm-hmm. Then I go and I open Instagram. I take a selfie with Instagram's camera, 100 times better. Why is that? It's the same camera. What's the software doing? And why is Instagram doing it better than Samsung?
And that's another thing. I found that if I take a video, like, on my story, for instance, like, from Instagram itself, it looks better than if I've taken the video from just the phone app, like the camera app.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre. Wait, I probably should check that. Imagine this whole time. It's
oh my god, and we're doing so good.
Nope. It's going. It's going. She's going.
Yeah, you set that to 60 FPS, and it only goes for 10 minutes, and it's burning.
That's how... I don't even... Oh, it's not very hot. Okay. I feel like I haven't been... You can cut this out.
I have one more question, and then I think you have one more from Cynthia. Bao asks, what are y'all's most embarrassing moments? And that is a very deep
is an
hole,
embarrassing
Bao.
moment.
You've opened the pit to hell.
I actually don't have very many truly embarrassing moments.
So
because this goes back to my life lesson. Just don't care.
I have a very bad one, and I don't think I told you about this. It happened last week. Obviously, this isn't my most embarrassing moment of all time, but it's recent, so it's still in my brain, and I still feel like a piece of shit
your
about
psyche.
It. So, my company right now is doing a sweepstakes where it's basically like you go online and you sign up, and from now until November, every transaction you do counts as an entry, and then at the end they do a draw and somebody gets 10 grand.
Wait, this is for employees or for customers?
Customers. So I have a customer, and he's about 65. And he comes in and he grabs one of the little things and he's like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, it's like a sweepstake thing. Have you entered yet?" And he said no. And I'm like, "Okay, well, I can explain it to you." And I said, "So, this and that." And then you go onto the website. And then once I say when you go onto the website, I noticed that he's kind of doing this, like he's shaking his head. And in my brain, I'm like, oh, I say website, and then he starts shaking his head. He must be being like, no
internet,
no technology. I'm old. So I'm like, I stop talking. I'm like, oh no. And then he goes, oh no, my head just shakes. I have a tremor. And I'm like, fuck. No fucking way. I just fucking did that. And then he's like, keep talking. I'm interested. And I'm like,
that's the worst. I hate that.
And like, he's a cool guy. He was fine. But I'm just like, I'm such a piece of shit. Like, I feel so fucking bad because I have like tics and I do the same thing. Like, I'd be moving in ways that I don't want to be moving.
Yeah.
And if somebody called me out on that, I'd be like, jeez,
that would be
fucking kill me, dude.
That is horrific.
That's bad. It was very bad. How about you?
Mine isn't even... I mean, honestly, for some reason this is like the one thing that's coming to my head, but I have two, I guess, which that come straight to my mind. In grade 9, I've told this story before, so you probably know it, but here we are. In grade 9, if anybody's ever taken like a high school science class, you know that our science class is like one of those ones where the seating was like, there's big sort of all like long tables, and two people per table, and it's like that for the whole class. And then on the sides of these tables, there's like the gas valves.
Yep. That's high school,
science,
baby.
For science stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we never ended up using those, but they're there.
We didn't, really?
And so I don't think we did. I don't remember ever using the little gas valves.
You never
we did
used like a
stuff.
Bunsen burner?
We did, but they were separate. Like, we never used the actual ones that were attached to the table. We only used, like, separate ones. I don't know. Maybe they didn't work. Who knows? I went to a public school. Like, whatever. So, walking into class, and, like, the tables are, like, waist length. I'm not very tall, or I wasn't, at least, in grade 9. So, like, my hip is, like, right at the edge of the table. And B, my now fiance, was in that class in grade 9. And we all sat at the front. I didn't really know her very well back then, obviously, because it was the first year, but we were acquaintances at that point. And I walk into this science class, and she and another girl that I'm friends with now too as well, they're sitting at the front, and I go to sit at the table next to them. And I walk in, and as I'm turning the corner to sit in my seat, I get my belt loop, like, I'm kind of like a fast mover, and I don't have very good spatial awareness, so I'm fucking, for some reason I'm fucking taking that corner like Tokyo Drift, like I'm really just zooming, and my belt loop gets caught on the gas valve, the thingy that you use to turn it on. And I just get fucking like clotheslined by my belt loop. Like it like shake, because those tables are like attached to the ground. They're not like loose. So I just get fucking like snagged back as if I'm gonna fly across the room. And I'm just sitting there like with my belt loop half ripping off my jeans now, because I've just put like the full force of my weight on it. And I just look over, and B and the other girl are sitting there, and B just like looks at me, and she's like, smooth. And I was like, okay, well, that's it. It's over for me. High school's done. And then the other one that comes to mind is, this one's really weird, and I don't even think this is really an embarrassing moment for me, but it made me feel like secondhand, like, cringe.
Oh, you love that.
I used to do Portuguese dancing, like Portuguese folk dancing. And it would be like every Friday from like 8 to 10-ish, back when I was in high school. And we would have periods of time where like we'd do our little dancing and whatever, and then we'd have breaks. So we'd like go outside, or we'd, just chill or whatever. So I'm outside with one of the guys, with one of my friends there, and I don't know what he was doing. I think he was showing me his belt buckle, or he was doing something outside, and he went to like joke, like pull down his pants, be like, tee-hee, like, haha, look, my belt's
dick.
off. But then he actually fully fucking pulled down his pants and his underwear, and his whole dick is there. And I was like, I'm just standing, literally, like, I was so close to him that I could have reached over, and like, it was fucking mortifying. And for some reason, he didn't react. Like, his whole ass dick is out. And I'm just like sitting there like, hello, like your whole dick is out. And he very slowly like pulls up his everything, and we're laughing about it. And then from that day on, like, I just couldn't look at him without seeing his like fucking flaccid dick just flapping at me in the dead of night on a Friday after Portuguese dance. Like, it was really an experience. And like, he would ask me like in the coming weeks or days, like, oh, like, you don't remember, right? And I'm like, no, like, I don't remember. I don't remember.
Okay.
Don't ask. And that's what embarrassed me the most, is like him asking me, like, do you remember what my dick looks like? And
Why
I'm like,
would he ask you that?
I don't know. It's like, I really wish we could just pretend it didn't happen. Instead, he
Well,
would
that
bring
would
it
be
up.
the normal thing to do.
Yeah, he would bring it up, like, a lot. In a way that was, like, not
He
like...
wanted you to make a move. Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I
can
remember. I remember.
You saw, like, can you, like, rate? Do you remember what it looks like? Like, I don't know what he wanted me to say. I really don't know what he wanted me to say.
Oh my fucking god.
But yeah, those are the two things that come to mind. I don't know.
It's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Okay, you got one from Cynthia, and then I think that's it.
I do. Ooh, alrighty. So she prefaces her question with, "This is how you guys are coping," which I think is a good, we could honestly name this podcast that "This is how we're coping."
It's not bad. Not a bad idea.
Which TikTok or Vine best describes you? Oh, baby.
Wow.
This is a rabbit hole that I don't think we're fully prepared to go down.
Best describes me. I mean, the way that Vines and TikToks occupy the space in my mind is as quotables.
Yes.
And the one that comes to mind, whether or not this is like very relevant to my life, is, but the first thing I think of when I think of a TikTok or a Vine is, wow.
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 The fucking vape guy.
That's a good one.
I identify with that. That's a good one.
Okay, I'm sort of the opposite. The way that TikToks occupy space in my brain is like the chaos of it all. Like just the one that I'm thinking of right now is the guy is standing on his balcony and he's looking down at this like one of those like glass backyard tables and he just jumps onto it and it just shatters. Like that is all that stays in my head.
That, now that you mentioned chaotic energy, I feel like that is a very TikTok thing.
The chaos? Well, it used
That
to
sounds
be,
like a TikTok to me.
It's a Vine, though, I think.
Is it?
I mean, I don't know. I kind of use Vine, like, as just a one-off word.
It's kind of like a Q-tips,
funny,
but it's not a Q-tip brand. It's just a Q-tip.
This funny, like, 13-second video that, like, ends in somebody breaking something.
I mean, it's 2020. There are new Vines in 2020, and Vine was cut off, like, 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. Or there's that other one. I can't even... I feel like you're going to have to put this in the description or throw it out. Like, okay. I can't even describe it. It's like it's of the toddlers and tiaras girl, and she's like, I like shiny... What does she say? I like shiny things, and then it's just like a really high-pitched... I'll find it. You're gonna have
I'll
to
throw it up on the screen.
I love to get in sparkly dresses.
Yeah.
Because I can't even put it into words, but like
I don't think I've seen it.
You've seen it. That lives rent-free in my head. Like, just, it plays. But yeah, those are the ones that I think of.
Fuck, man. That's a good rabbit hole.
Oh my god.
Anyway, I think we are at an hour now, which is a bit more than we had anticipated.
I mean, it'd be that way.
We have a lot of good questions for next time. I'm also going to bring up something that will be very heated next time. I wanted to bring it up today, but I did not. We ran out of time.
Ooh.
And I promise you, anyone watching, this will cause a fight. So, stay tuned.
Yeah, it probably will.
I know for a fact that it will. Anyway, y'all, that's it. If you watched this far, shout outs to you.
Right?
The real
MVP.
The real one, giving us a career. If you made it this far, we actually have made $40 from you, and that will be deducted right from your credit card. So again, thank you again so much.
Please leave a comment with your social insurance number and the 3 numbers on the back of your credit card. And also, you can DM us the, I think it's 12 numbers on the front of your credit card, just so that we can verify each viewer to make sure that we're not getting any bots. That's probably the best way to do it.
You never know. I'm going to throw up our socials as well. If you want to send us any questions for the podcast, I mean, I throw them up on my story, and I think Tino just tries to collect them, and then nobody gives him anything because our friends are kind of fuckers. But yeah, we're also
you can also
gonna
just
be-
comment them on
Yes.
this
Yeah, yeah,
one,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we'll see them.
very simple, very easy. So do it, or unsubscribe.
Period.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, friends. Thanks for watching.